Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and just before it starts, I am a little bit congested, I am a little bit sick, so if my voice sounds a little bit weird, it is what it is. But today, we did receive the new 1.6.1 beta. This patch is about 3.5 gigabytes and has some good changes, and a lot of stuff that we have been looking forward to. The link to the new beta patch will be down below, like always, and like always, I have a script. Everything I say, all links that are stated, they're all going to be down below in the description for you to check out during or after the video. Now, in this video, I'll be going over all the important changes. The minor changes and fixes will be shown on the screen as the video goes on, and you can pause the video to see the changes, or again, you can follow the link in the description for the full patch notes. So, let's get right into the changes. We have single player, multiplayer, and then both. So, single player first. First, they added some new musical instruments. So, I'm going to butcher a lot of these names, but I'm still going to say them. We got the Bodhran, the cornu, the dombra, the oud, the flute, the hurdy-gurdy, the vielle, the kemane, the harp, the khomus, and the ney. I'm pretty sure these are going to be new instruments that we're going to see NPCs play in the tavern, maybe around town. We'll see how they've been implemented, but it's cool to see. We're going to hear some new sounds. Always welcome. Then they added 11 new villages. All village names are on the screen right now, and you can go check those out right now if you have the new patch installed. Then we have the Encyclopedia now saves the scroll position, so when players go back to a list, it will continue from where it was left off. So if you come off of the Encyclopedia and then go back into it, it's going to be in the exact same spot you left it at, which is very, very good, so you don't have to keep scrolling back down every time you try to pop in and pop out. So good to see. Very good UI change. Next, we have Encyclopedia pages now have a next and previous button that change the page to the next item on the list. Again, very good UI change. Next, the affected relations tooltip when executing a prisoner can now show all relations by using the Alt key. So this is very good. You can actually see now who will be affected, and will give you more information. Always good to see. Next, they improved the formula for calculating pillage effects. So hopefully this will make it so it's more reasonable and you get a lot more gold from choosing the different pillage options. Before, it was very lackluster, so hopefully that is now fixed. Next, they added keep battles. So this pretty much is AI defenders that escape to the keep during the siege will be put up to fight inside of the keep now. The fights will take place in the settlement's keep after the main siege has been won by the attacker's party. And the defenders will hold and fall back to choke points while waves of attackers charge into the keep. Very cool. I'm going to make my separate own video of, a couple keep battles, just running through them and showing you guys exactly how it's done. But very good to see that this has been added, and it's a very good part of the siege that I think will pretty much, make the sieges feel even better than they already do feel. Next, they fix an issue that caused troops to not use ladders in certain situations. This is a big one. Now, before anybody says anything, this is not siege towers. So unfortunately, the siege towers still have the problem that they do have. This is mainly for ladders that are there if you build no siege towers. So for those ladders. Next, they fix an issue that caused troops to not break into the interior castle gate in certain situations. So obviously castles and towns, they have two gates. Certain ones, the second gate is a little bit farther away than the first one. So for some reason the troops would not attack the second gate after they got past the first one. That has now been fixed. Next, we have his peace and war declarations will now show the reasoning behind them in the kingdom decision screen. So these are the war reasons we have talked about in previous videos. Very good to see. They are going to be a very simple reason, for why the war started, but it's still good to see, and it still gives you more information, which again, more information is better. Next, enemy factions can now send peace offers to the player's faction. The player can see these offers on the right part of the screen via notifications. If the player is the leader of the faction, they can accept or decline these offers. If the player is a vassal, then the offer is considered through the voting feature. Very good. We did talk about this, and I did state that since this got passed, there is potential for a lot more of these AI interacts with player features to come in the future, and I think this is a very good sight to see. Next, we have his workshops can now produce faction neutral items, so now they can produce items based on the faction that they are located in, so very cool to see. Then we have updated experienced smith and steelmaker 3 secondary effects. These are all smithing perks. First, experienced smith, successful crafting orders give 2 relations with notables. Very good to build up your relationship if you are doing a smithing playthrough. Then we have Steelmaker 3, successful crafting orders gives 4 relationship with lords. Again, very good to help with relationships. Next, prison break improvements. We have the prisoners now have 2 states. They have follow and stay, and this can be toggled by interacting with them. So now the prisoner, if you want to actually, do the fights for them, just, to be extra safe and make sure they don't get hurt, they could always stay behind you, or they could follow you. It's up to you. Then they added a new text to show that there are no prisoners after scouting the keep. So just, quick UI, very good to see. And lastly, they removed polearms from prison guards. Obviously, polearms are very hard to actually use in very tight indoor spaces. And now the prison guards will be using shorter weapons. Next, notables now provide elite troops instantly instead of first creating a basic troop and then upgrading to an elite troop. So now, even at the beginning of the game, notables that are powerful, which is, if they have above 200 power, they are considered powerful. Those notables will immediately start providing elite troop trees. And this is pretty much like the troop tree that gives you the best units based on the faction. Next, they implemented a new quest, revenue farming, and the quest summary for this is a lord is looking for someone to collect rents that are owed to them. So I'm guessing this is going to be you walking through, let's say, a village and just asking for people's rents, and I'm pretty sure some are going to say, okay, here you go, and some are probably going to try to fight you. But again, more quest, love to see it, and like I said before, I am going to be playing every single quest in the game. I've already played a big portion of them, but I'm going to play every single quest in the game, put them all in one playlist so you guys can see how all the quests go and how to get them and all of that. Next, they updated the main storyline time limits. This was a big problem for a very long time. I wouldn't say it was a huge problem, but it was a small little problem. Now the 10-year time limit for the first phase has been increased to 20 years, and 30 years overall time limit has been removed. So now you have a lot longer time to actually do the main storyline if you wish to push that along. And then lastly, for single player, workshops can now be bought from notables through dialogue. So now you do not have to go all the way and talk to a shop worker. You can do it just from talking to the notable that owns that shop. Now onto multiplayer. For multiplayer, there's been a couple of bug fixes, but for the main beef of the changes, it has to do with a lot of unit, weapon, and armor changes, and they're on the screen right now, but it's only a part of them. If you wish to see all of them, all the full patch notes, check the link down below and you will see all of them. Now onto both. We have reworked the kick feature, which is they added new animations and increased the penalty for missing a kick. So now you can't just keep spamming kick. If you do miss it, if it does not connect, there will probably be a little stagger animation, or you'll be stunned for just a little bit, and it'll make it so you don't actually keep spamming it, which I think is very good. Next, being able to kick immediately after falling hard from some height is no longer possible. There it is. So obviously you can't again spam the kick as soon as you fall. And then being able to switch between weapons during an attack release is no longer possible. So this might be a little controversial. What they're stating by this is it's going to be more controversial in my opinion for the multiplayer scene, because you can't really fake. Well, you probably still can, but it won't be as effective as before. You can't really fake an attack, then dodge. So it's going to be, in my opinion, a little bit less skill involved to it. Maybe they're trying to make it more easier for newer players, because, obviously if you played multiplayer for a very long time, then your combat is way above what a new player's is. So we'll see how it works. We'll see what people have to say about it. I personally don't completely agree with this change, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's a good change. Next, we have stunt changes. We have defender stuns are lowered by reducing the impact of the weapon weight. Reduce the momentum factor that gets calculated from the attackers and defenders' weapons' physical attributes, so defender stuns are reduced. Effectively, the length of a stun is affected less by weapon weights. So pretty much what all this is saying is there's more calculations to how stuns work, and overall stuns will be reduced. Next, heavy attacks deal more defender stun and damage. Heavy attacks now deal around 15% more stun to defenders. They also deal slightly more damage now. So again, it's more based on a lot of stuff like, if you're using a heavy attack, how much does your weapon weigh, stuff of that nature. And then lastly, active blocks cause attacker stun based on defender weapon weight, similar to how the attacking weapon causes more defender stun. Again, it's just a lot to say. A lot more stuff is being taken into account when stuns are being affected. And then lastly, we have a lot of modding changes. So I went on the modding part of the forum, and they do look like they are welcome changes. Obviously, there's still more work to be done, but again, good changes to see. They're on the screen right now if you wish to check them out. And like always, link will be down below to the full patch notes. But that's pretty much all for all the changes. Last, I'm going to end this video in the same way I end most of my update and dev talk videos. I want to thank the developers for staying active and bringing good changes. Also, I have a video on how you can revert your game to any other patch released or to the current patch if you are having problems. Link to that will be down below. And also, if you are having crashes on startup after updating to this patch or to another patch, I have another video with a solution down below. Also, I did start a Patreon. It's just basic support. If you wish to check it out, I do always appreciate it. And hopefully this video was informative, and like always, stay safe.